Next, NASA says its Voyager 1 probe, the most distant human-made object in the universe, is sending usable information to Earth again, after months of spouting gibberish.
14 billion miles from Earth drifts humanity's farthest messenger. Voyager 1, a machine launched in 1977, with less computing power than your microwave. As of February 2025, it's officially 167.35 astronomical units away, so distant that radio signals traveling at light speed take over 22 hours to reach us. Recently, unusual patterns have reportedly emerged in Voyager's transmissions, patterns that some specialists claim contain structured, mathematical sequences embedded within what appears to be normal telemetry data. These alleged patterns include prime number sequences, variations of universal constants, and what some describe as a three-dimensional spiral structure, hidden within the signal's architecture. Analysis using Microsoft's newly announced Majorana 1 quantum processor, with its revolutionary topological core architecture unveiled just last month, has supposedly revealed these structures in ways traditional computing couldn't detect. The patterns allegedly contain mathematical relationships so precise that some experts question whether they could occur naturally. While mainstream sources remain silent, specialized communities are buzzing with theories. If these reports have any validity, the implications would be extraordinary. What does it mean when a 48-year-old probe sailing through interstellar space suddenly transmits data with mathematical precision that exceeds its original programming? The minds naturally drawn to questions that others dismiss are already subscribing to this channel. They recognize that extraordinary possibilities deserve serious consideration, regardless of official narratives. Your presence here suggests you're already thinking beyond conventional explanations. Subscribe to join others who understand that significant discoveries often begin at the margins of accepted knowledge. To understand the significance of these alleged signal anomalies, we need to understand Voyager 1 itself. Launched on September 5, 1977, Voyager 1 is humanity's most distant spacecraft. Originally designed for a 5-year mission to study Jupiter and Saturn, it has far exceeded expectations, continuing to operate more than 48 years after launch. As of February 2025, Voyager 1 is approximately 167.34 astronomical units. That's 15.6 billion miles from Earth, and has been in interstellar space since crossing the heliopause in August 2012. The first human-made object to leave our solar system's protective bubble, Voyager communicates via NASA's Deep Space Network, transmitting on frequencies of 2.3 gigahertz or 8.4 gigahertz, with a power output of just 23 watts, about as strong as a refrigerator light bulb. By the time these signals reach Earth, they're so faint that they have less energy than a single bacterium uses to swim. The spacecraft runs on a computer with just 68 kilobytes of memory, programmed in assembly code. Its power comes from a radioisotope thermoelectric generator using plutonium-238, which continues to provide enough electricity to operate at least one science instrument. Until sometime in the 2030s, Voyager 1 has faced several communication challenges in recent years. In May 2022, it began transmitting corrupted telemetry data, when its attitude articulation and control system started routing information through a non-operational computer. Engineers resolved this by August 2022. More recently, in November 2023, Voyager 1 experienced another issue with its flight data system, memory becoming corrupted, preventing normal data transmission. NASA engineers diagnosed and fixed this problem by April 2024, and the probe resumed normal science operations. It's against this backdrop of technical challenges that the current situation must be considered. Critics suggest the alleged patterns are simply another technical anomaly, pointing to Voyager's history of sending corrupted data that later proved to have mundane explanations. Proponents counter that this time is different, that the mathematical precision reportedly found in recent transmissions defies conventional technical explanations. Central to these claims is the role of quantum computing in analyzing Voyager signals. Microsoft's Majorana 1, named after Italian theoretical physicist Majorana, announced on February 19, 2025, is the world's first quantum processor. Powered by a topological core architecture, this breakthrough uses top qubits to create stable, scalable topological qubits, with the current version utilizing 8 qubits, and the theoretical potential to scale to 1 million. According to sources in the quantum computing community, traditional signal analysis wouldn't detect the patterns allegedly found in Voyager's transmissions. Quantum computing's ability to process multiple probability states simultaneously could theoretically reveal hidden structures, invisible to conventional methods. The timing is noteworthy. Voyager's alleged signal anomalies emerged shortly after Microsoft's announcement of the Majorana 1. This convergence has led some to question whether the patterns were always present in Voyager signals, but only became detectable with quantum computing advancements. According to specialists who claim to have analyzed the data, Voyager's recent transmissions contain several anomalous features that defy conventional explanation. First, the mathematical constants. These reportedly included the first 10 prime numbers 2, 3, 7, 11, 13, 17, 23, 11, 13, 17, 1923, and 29, appearing in sequence within what should be random signal variations. Even more puzzling are the alleged appearances of fundamental constants, like Planck's constant and the fine structure constant, both reportedly appearing with tiny, consistent alterations of approximately 0.0003%. Second, the three-dimensional structure. When processed through quantum algorithms, the signal allegedly reveals a spiral pattern with geometric properties, matching Fibonacci sequences and golden ratio relationships. Patterns commonly found in nature, but which shouldn't appear in a degrading transmission from a failing spacecraft. Most intriguing is the reported appearance of the number 127, a Mersenne prime, that forms the foundation of digital networking and computing. EOS 7.0001 represents the local loopback address. Essentially home, this has LED to some analysis, suggesting the signal contains embedded digital architecture beyond Voyager's original capabilities. According to those following these developments, verification remains a critical issue. Multiple independent analyses, using different quantum platforms, have allegedly produced similar results, finding the same mathematical structures embedded in Voyager's signal. Some sources claim that a 72-hour communications blackout was conducted, during which Earth sent no signals to Voyager. During this period, the patterns reportedly degraded, only to return stronger when communication resumed. Behavior that wouldn't be expected from a random technical glitch. Critics maintain that, without peer-reviewed publication and official confirmation, these claims remain speculative at best and fabricated at worst. NASA has not officially acknowledged any unusual patterns in Voyager's recent transmissions, maintaining that the probe continues normal operations. Following last year's technical fix, the people recognizing patterns that mainstream analysis dismisses are already mentally mapping the implications. Your mind has likely already begun constructing frameworks to understand what this could mean. If verified, don't lose this thread of insight. Subscribe to continue receiving analysis that conventional channels aren't equipped to provide. The cognitive separation between those who see these patterns and those who don't isn't accidental. It reflects fundamentally different approaches to emerging information. The most conservative explanation suggests there's nothing actually unusual about Voyager's recent transmissions. According to this view, the alleged patterns are either misinterpretations of normal signal degradation or artifacts introduced by the quantum analysis itself. Essentially, the quantum processor finding patterns in random noise. Proponents point to Voyager's history of communication issues, all of which eventually received technical explanations. The May 2022 issue with corrupted telemetry, and the 2023 to 2024 memory corruption, both initially appeared mysterious, but were ultimately traced to aging hardware problems. NASA's public position aligns with this explanation, with official statements indicating Voyager 1 is functioning normally and continuing to return scientific data from all 4 of its operational instruments. No unusual signal patterns have been officially acknowledged. A more provocative theory suggests Voyager's transmission may have been intercepted and modified in deep space. According to this view, the probe's weak 23-watt signal could have been captured, altered to include mathematical patterns, and redirected toward Earth. The energy question is central to this theory. Critics note that Voyager's signal power hasn't increased, despite allegedly carrying more complex data, which violates basic physics unless something is boosting the signal remotely. Proponents point to the quantum entanglement-like properties reportedly found in the transmission, properties reminiscent of recent quantum communications experiments with China's Michus satellite. These properties could theoretically allow information transfer without conventional energy requirements. If this theory has any validity, it would suggest an intelligent entity with advanced technology is using our own probe as a communication channel, perhaps marking a boundary or delivering a message as Voyager enters genuinely unexplored territory. A third theory proposes that the patterns might originate from within Voyager itself, possibly from code that remained dormant until specific conditions were met, according to this view when NASA uploaded the patch to bypass Voyager's degraded memory module. In 2024, it may have activated previously unused capabilities. Critics emphasize the implausibility of this theory, given Voyager's documented specifications. It has 68 kilobytes of memory, and simple assembly code shouldn't be capable of generating complex mathematical structures or self-modifying algorithms. Proponents counter that early space missions often contained classified capabilities beyond their publicly disclosed specifications. They suggest that the 1977 launch occurred during a period of intense Cold War competition, when spacecraft might have carried secondary missions, unknown to the public. If this theory has merit, it would raise questions about Voyager's true purpose. Was it always intended as more than a scientific mission? Could it have been designed to activate additional functions only after reaching interstellar space? A fourth theory suggests Voyager may have encountered something in interstellar space that affects its transmission in mathematically significant ways. According to this view, the probe isn't receiving a directed communication, but might be passing through a region with properties we,